B1 family, welcome to Blacklogic. If I told you that illegal immigration is the #1 issue for Americans, what would your thoughts be? Probably one of the first thoughts that you may have is, how does illegal immigration directly affect my life? And it's kind of like an avalanche. You may not be in the close proximity of the avalanche, but that does not mean that the avalanche won't affect you in some sort of way. That doesn't mean that the avalanche won't smother the fields, the agriculture, where we grow our food. If you get my grip, this is a trickling down effect of how things may occur, because illegal immigration, in my opinion, seems to be the most important issue this election. People are entering the country illegally from various countries, posing threat to our economy as well as our national security. Because when we think about the terrorist attacks of 9/11, right? After the terrorist attacks of 9/11, we needed to be even more vigilant about who we allow into our country. These individuals have not been allowed into our country, we wouldn't have had 9/11. These individuals have not been verified and could potentially cause harm to Americans and the American way of life. Think about it, family. These people, as you've seen, as you heard, they have been released inside of the country, more than 2 million of them. We've already seen an increase in crime directly linked to illegal immigration, including rapes, theft, assault, all squatting beefs between illegal immigrants and those who own the property. This is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. It is crucial that we take action to secure our borders and ensure the safety of all Americans. Now, who do you think this directly affects more so than your average day American? It directly affects foundational Black Americans, because this is where these illegal immigrants, these unlawful migrants, these undocumented immigrants are being dropped off at. And they're using the resources within those communities, those resources, family, they're being revived, they're being revamped, they're being renovated in order to appease illegal immigrants inside of the country. I don't care if you're pro-immigration, but are you pro-illegal immigration? That's the question. Because as we dive through these things, you will see that a lot of people are not pro-illegal immigration, but you may be pro-immigration because maybe you are a first, second, third immigrant. But when we look at these things, family, you just don't see it. You just don't see it. I have my sister Tana Marie, as well as my sister Pamela Denise Long. Thank you, everyone, for joining me here this evening, because these are some of the things that we really need to talk about, family, because this is affecting two major things: the economy and national security. And I don't see people really divvying it up that way. They're trying to really choose who's going to be the best policy candidate, or that's what I hope, and not be fear-mongered, especially Black Americans, to vote Democrat once again, not receiving anything from the Democratic Party except benign neglect, lies, manipulation, coerce, and fear-mongering. That's the only thing we're receiving. So instead of me going into a bunch of rhetoric and conjecture, let's quantify this and qualify this with some statistics. All right. So first and foremost, I know a lot of people used to blame the illegal immigration problem simply on Mexicans. Okay, Mexicans coming to south of the border, the largest country south of the border, Mexico. Okay, but let me tell you, family, it's not just Mexicans. As a matter of fact, the numbers have changed. Mexicans are no longer a majority of unauthorized immigrants living in America. It's coming from all other sorts of countries, whether it be Colombia, Costa Rica, Honduras, Brazil, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Africa, Asia, mostly China and India. So we're looking at other people who are foreign born, come to this country illegally, not being verified, and Some people have you believe that doesn't affect the economy, that we actually need illegal immigration to somehow be a catalyst to our economy to generate more jobs and low-end skilled workers. Well, when you look at the amount of immigrants, it's overwhelmingly more than the amount of people that we have unemployed and homeless. See, a lot of times when we look at the budget and we're not putting money back into the economy, and we're not helping out those who are in need the most, starting with the homeless, starting with the low impoverished, and we're not creating programs to generate revenue inside of the country. See, what a lot of people may say, well, it's the right, it's the left, it's conservatives, the Republicans. I want you to look at it from a total 360 sort of perspective. And the reason why I say that is because on one hand, big government receive millions and billions of dollars from corporations who hire under the table illegal immigrants. And that's how some of these left-winged, liberal, democratic people are funded by big businesses who hire these people. Then on the right, the conservatives, the Republicans, tell you that they want to secure the border, but nobody wants to change the Constitution. Nobody wants to do an amendment. We've done it before. We can change the Constitution where just because you have a anchor baby inside the country, they can then bring you over using our own programs in order to escape and crowbar themselves way inside of our economy. Because a lot of people that come over here illegally, okay, they're just utilizing the loopholes in the immigration system that we Americans have allowed. Because majority of Americans are politically illiterate. We don't know. And we don't have time to know because we're working our jobs every day. We're grinding every day. We have kids. We have people we need to take care of. We have our elderly that we need to take care of. So I understand, but we're tuning in to the wrong sources. We're tuning in to the wrong media. You're dedicating anywhere from 30 minutes and some people 3 hours of your life on news. And you're staying on one news station. You're not getting perspective from the left. You're not getting perspective from the right. You're not getting perspective from the middle. You're not listening to people you disagree with. You're only listening to people who feed into your emotions, who feed into maybe the one or two issues that you have, and not understanding the big, broad spectrum of issues that may be occurring that you don't see directly. And that's the avalanche I'm referring to. You may not see that directly. But now America in itself is come one, come all, and we'll take care of your poor. We'll take care of your hungry. And we're living up to that, are we not? We have so many loopholes in our government. We have so many loopholes in our legislation. We have so many loopholes in immigration. It's daunting and it's scary. It's daunting and it's scary. Now, this form right here, let me tell you, family, this form right here, let me see if I can pop this up. The cost of illegal immigration of taxpayers. And what you're seeing right now, family, are not asylum seekers, what the actual definition of asylum seekers are, or refugees, that is fearing or fleeing political prosecution from their government. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. These are what you call economic asylum seekers. This is what you call economic refugees. And here's the thing, family, they're coming over here. They haven't done any ounce of work, right? They're trying to work, but they're getting all the benefits that our American citizens, especially foundational Black American U.S. freedmen citizens, should be received. The things that we were quote unquote promised, but never given. But you'll have the white supremacist society. Yeah, family, you will have the white supremacist society tell you that you received civil rights, and they don't understand that civil rights was given to everybody and it mostly benefited white women. Affirmative action. Affirmative affirmative action was given to everybody and mostly benefited white women. DEI mostly, watch out, family. Hold on. You know what I got to do. You know what I got to do, family. It most benefited Hispanics coming over originally, because that was the large caravans initially with a couple of Haitians and some other people sprinkled through there, but mostly Hispanics from Mexico as well as Central America. It mostly benefited them, DEI. Then they came up with some pop-up Mamie sort of CRT that nobody really knows what that means. People are still fighting over what CRT really is, because they just threw that out of their ass and tried to say, oh, it's CRT. Then it was woke. And they're using, of course, they are totally bastardizing that terminology that during the 70s and 80s was a term of power and knowing and knowledge. They bastardize it. Like, no. There's a woke mob. What woke mean? It means liberals. It means LGBTQ. It means they don't know what it means. They're misusing our terms and still don't know what it means. But this is the cause of illegal immigration in America. Let's go down some of this. Let me read this off if this is too small on your screen. It states that illegal immigrants are a net fiscal drain. A net fiscal drain. This is coming from the I forgot .gov. No, let me see if I can get this website correct. Judiciary Committee .gov. You can look this up on there if you want to fact check me and reference my information here. But it states that meaning they receive more in government services than they pay in taxes. Now, some of them, quote unquote, according to the federal government, do pay taxes, but not a lot of them. Okay. This result is not due to laziness or fraud. Why would the federal government be so unprofessional and use the word laziness? You know, and I could be stretching this a little bit. The only reason why I say that, because when we look at the courtroom in Chicago, where the Hispanic gentleman was calling the black people and calling the black lady, stop being lazy, and they've used that term over and over again to describe foundational Black Americans, like we're lazy, that the immigrants, whether they be our complexion or of a lighter skin complexion, that they work harder than we do. That is the racial trope, or these sort of these words that weasel by some people, and we keep saying lazy and lazy and lazy, but we know what they're saying. They're calling you a lazy nigga. I said it. That's what they're calling you. But they said this is not due to laziness or fraud. Oh no, they're not lazy. They're not frauding and using loopholes was inside our legislation to comb Americans out of their property when they're squatting and they're conducting drug activity. Okay. Illegal immigrant. And here's the thing, family, let's be real about it. We already have Americans committing some of the crimes, doing some of the things that illegal immigrants are doing. But I always say this: Americans, we don't need help with crime. We don't need people who are already illegally in the country committing more crimes than Americans. Okay? America take care of their own. That's called jail and prison. That's called indictment and RICO. That's called probation. Okay? So these people are literally committing crime, then being deported or dropped off, and then they come right back over again. Some of these people have been court 6-7 times for similar crimes. And listen to this, family. If a country allows you in, and you commit a crime, and they just said, bad boy, and release you back into the public, and you commit another crime, and they say, okay, now it's our last warning, and then you commit another crime, and then they deport you right across the border, and you walk back over again. See, I think I'm playing. We're gonna get through this too, family. We're gonna get through this. What about this? And family, I know how he looks. He's not black. That's not Lil Dante. That's not Lil Ray J. That's not him. Okay. You're gonna give another angle of him, but listen in on this, family.
14 crimes, most of them violent. Anchor at Fox News at night, Trace Gallagher's here with the latest. Trace. Hey, Jesse, his name is Daniel Hernandez Martinez from Venezuela. He got to New York June 27th and began committing crimes June 28th. First, he hit a Brooklyn Costco, taking everything from snacks to sneakers to toiletries. He was arrested and released. A few days later, he hit a drugstore. A day after that, another drugstore. Only this time, police say he pulled a knife on an undercover cop. He was arrested, charged with menacing, and released. Then Martinez used a bicycle tire to attack an independent journalist, a journalist who apparently is not a very good judge of character. Watch.
So this is the guy that I treated nicely and told everybody, hey, don't judge everybody badly. This is a nice guy. The other guy told him to attack me, so he attacked me for another Venezuelan for no reason. I treated him nicely.
And the legal system also treated him nicely because he was released again and again. A few days later, he's accused of viciously attacking a woman in Manhattan, grabbing her by the hair and dragging her across the floor. He got hit with assault and weapons charges, but was given supervised release, and apparently not a very good supervisor because...
Now, I just want to point out something very quickly, family. They keep showing, they showed the gentleman at first who was getting arrested. Then they just showed two black guys putting on masks that has nothing to do with it. They were still talking about the Venezuelan gentleman. But I wanted to point that out because, again, you got to be very skeptical when you're watching Fox. Okay, when you're watching Fox, you got to be very skeptical when you're watching Fox, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CPAC, whatever. All news media, you need to be very cautious of how they're saying one thing, what they showed the gentleman before, and then state another, and they're showing different depictions of people, which people who are now tuning in thinking that is the black guys. It wasn't. It was a guy from Venezuela. But that's what I'm referring to, family. That's referring to. Let's get back to this, though. Let's get back to this. It states here that illegal immigrants actually have high rates of work. Wait a minute. Did the federal government just say that? Hold on. Can I blow this up? Let me see if I can blow this up. Did I read that correctly? Was it me? Let me see if I can get this out the way, fam. Let me see if I can move this somehow. Give me 1 second here. They won't let me move. There we go. There we go. Now, I want you guys to read this for yourself. I'm trying to get this as big as I can. This is ridiculous. Am I reading this right? Family, it states that illegal immigrants actually have high rates of work. Illegal immigrants. The federal government is stating illegal immigrants have high rates of work. How in the hell are they in the country working? In the federal government, though illegal. That's why you know this is a plan, family. And a lot of people want to keep blaming the left. Yeah. Joe Biden let in a whole hell of a lot of illegal immigrants. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Joe Biden let in millions of illegal immigrants. But this has been happening for a very long time. Is a physical border going to stop illegal immigration? No. It's going to slow it down, though. A physical border will slow down illegal immigration, but we need boots on the ground. We need those people who live in them border states, okay, not to hire illegal immigrants. But again, it states here, illegal immigrants actually have high rates of work, and they do pay some taxes, including income and payroll tax. The fundamental reason that illegal immigrants are a net drain is that they have a low average education level, which results in low average earnings and tax payments. So if they were like Americans going to college, going to school, getting their degrees, getting their certifications, getting their licenses, then you're basically stating that American businesses will hire illegal immigrants to work for their organization and be complicit in the many caravans of millions of people who are unlawfully and illegally inside of the country. Is that what they're stating? Is that what the United States government is stating? Wow. This is why they get all the social benefits. This is why they get all of the social benefits. That's why illegal immigrants can attend college in America. It states here that it also means a large share qualifies for welfare programs. Oh, I thought Shaniqua was the welfare queen. I thought Sexy Red was the weird. No, she's probably make millions of dollars denigrating the black race. But anyway, I digress. That's another topic. But we're talking about this United States government states that they have a large part. They accumulate a large share of the welfare and social programs in America. That's what the federal government is stating. Often receiving benefits on behalf of their U.S. born children. It's interesting. Like their less educated and low income U.S. born counterparts, the tax payments of illegal immigrants do not come close to covering the cost they create. So the amount of taxes that they're paying is not covering the drain they have on our economy. And we're not talking about onesies and twosies. We're not talking about tens and 20s. We're not talking about hundreds or hundreds of thousands. We're talking about millions of people inside of the country illegally. That is what we're referring to. That is what we're talking about here. So when they tell us that these people are not receiving assistance and support, and then the federal government comes out on paper and states, yeah, we are, but I don't think you guys should really be looking at it like that. Even though they have charts, they have all sorts of graphs. Look at this, family. I'm not lying to you. Look at this. They made sure they wanted everybody to know, because they know that most Americans will not go and research the information. Here it is. It says welfare use based on legal status of household head. The blue are U.S. born. Okay. The blue is U.S. born. The orange is a legal immigrant, and the purple is an illegal immigrant. Just take a gander at that for a second, because we're looking at the welfare of America. And if you look here on the closed right, it says we estimate that 59, to round up, 60% of illegal immigrant households use one or more welfare programs, compared to the U.S. born illegal headed households use every program at statistically higher rates. Statistically higher rates, except for SSI, TAF, and housing, which is a lie. And then there's all these other government documents I can research, and I showed this plenty of times, how they're receiving Social Security and TAF as well. They state that illegal immigrants have especially high use of cash, mainly the EITC, food programs, and Medicaid. I mean, you go to New York, they're giving out $53 million. They talking about it's only 13 cents a day. I don't know how anyone in New York can survive, let alone in America, survive over 13, 15 cents a day, which is a lie. Which is a lie, family. Here's the thing. This government will put all of these things, all of this information inside of these documents, because they know that the American citizens won't go out and research this information for themselves. And this is something else I wanted to point out to you guys as well. How can illegal immigrants' welfare use be so high? How can this be so high? Give me a second. I'm trying to just blow it up so you guys can read it as well, but I see that's not working out. But it states that the high use of welfare by illegal immigrant-headed households is due to several factors. First, and most important, more than half of illegal immigrant households have at least one U.S.-born child on behalf of whom they can receive benefits. So these are the terminology of anchor babies. See, a lot of people from these other countries, especially south of the border, and I'm not just saying Mexico, but south of the border, that's Caribbean as well. They come over here when they're pregnant. That's why you may see a lot of pregnant women coming over here, because if their child is born in America, that child is a U.S. born citizen. And this is what I was referring to earlier, that the Constitution needs to be amended. The Constitution needs to be revamped. The Constitution may need some tweaking. The Constitution, for those who are constitutionalists, is not a perfect document. And it may never be a perfect document. That doesn't mean that it can't get better. We have a lot of intelligent people inside of America. We have a lot of intelligent Americans who can close a lot of these loopholes that will slow down illegal immigration. See, this is more so about big money. This is big money, family. The government is allowing this for big money. Some people are like, oh, and granted, illegal immigration has more than one cause. It's more than big money. This also a power play for certain political parties. I'll just say the liberals, the Democrats. The Democrats. This is for them to stay in power. They are literally creating a new voting block. They are literally creating a new voter block. It says, second, many states offer Medicaid directly to illegal immigrants. Who's paying for that? You paying for that? You paying for that? But see, when you do your W-4, you get your W-2 and all that good stuff, and you see how much money the federal government has taken from you, depending on how much you make. Sometimes people that they're taking $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and giving you $4,000 back. Some people are like, oh, I like paying my taxes. I get a tax return. I'm like, but did you see how much they took from you? Did you see that? See, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with paying taxes. Neither do you, because we enjoy America. We understand that taxes help keep up the infrastructure of America. So we see where our tax dollars are going. We see that new roads are being built, new schools are being built, water filtration systems are being built. They're reinforcing the energy grid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then you say, well, where all these millions and billions of dollars are going? Well, they're going to fund things like illegal immigrants receiving Medicaid. It says, third, 6 states also offer SNAP benefits to illegal immigrants under limited circumstances. Fourth, illegal immigrant children have the same eligibility as citizens for free and subsidized school lunch, breakfast, and WIC under federal law. Under federal law. This is, see, family, this is much bigger than them dropping off migrants in Colorado, Chicago, New York, them trying to hide out and run through Texas and Florida and go through some of the border states like New Mexico and Arizona. Is much, much, much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. Because not only is this a drain on our economy, but it's also a threat to national security. But here's the kicker. The American government is allowing it. And we're allowing it through legislation. So we don't vote for people, and we don't vote for the person that is going to close these loopholes. Because here's my thing. Everybody like, okay, Trump is going to do this, and Trump is going to do that, and Trump is going to do that. Show me the money. Show me the legislation. Show me the legislation. Show me the legislation. Because we already know what Biden doing, okay? We already know what Biden has been doing to this country by the way of illegal immigration. We already know. But if we're going to vote for Donald Trump, and I'm not saying me, I'm saying we, okay? Not saying me. Ain't nothing on the table for Foundation Black Americans. I'm not doing it. I'm sitting on the couch. But here's the thing. There's going to be some people who may feel impelled, who may feel an unction to go out and vote for Donald Trump. My only question is, make sure you're voting for what they say that he's going to do or what he says he's going to do. Show me the proposed legislation. Show me the fact sheet. Show me. It states here, fifth, several million illegal immigrants have work authorization that provides a social security number and EITC eligibility along with it. This includes those with DACA, TPS, that temporary protected status, because we understand that illegal immigrants are a protected class. Yes, they are. But not Foundation Black Americans, but even though Asian Americans receive a protected class and Jewish Americans as well, not hating, just want the same thing that everybody else is getting, as well as many applicants for asylum and those granted suspension of deportation and withholding of removal. I know I'm saying a mouth here full because I think it's important we understand how these things are being done inside of America. And is a much bigger problem. But see, going over is not just the Mexicans. In the past 3 months, we've had 24,000 Chinese to come over illegally. And then another, I think it was saying 10,000 from other Asian countries, but mainly India, come over illegally. It's not just Mexicans. And matter of fact, there's many stories, there's many statistics, and I wish I didn't pop that down to show you guys that Mexicans are literally going back home. They're like, man, ain't no jobs, ain't nothing up here. Let me see if I can find that statistic very quickly. Give me 1 second, family. I want to show you that a lot of Mexicans are going back home. They said, this is getting bad. They're saying this is getting bad. I know some of you are like, good. I know some of you are like, good. Because it's not about the people. Let me point that out. This is not anti-Mexican. This is not anti-Latino. This is not anti-Caribbean, anti-African, anti-Asian, nothing. This is simply about illegal immigrants, regardless of your race, creed, ethnic origin, etc. Okay? Now, after Mexico, the countries of origin with the largest unauthorized immigrant populations in the U.S., El Salvador, India, I told you, Guatemala, Honduras. Now, this report is from 2021. Okay, this report is from 2021. But recent metric states that a lot of them are now coming from China. So if anybody ever read that book called The Enemy Within, anybody? It makes me think about 9/11. How do those people get inside the country? Were they sleeper cells? Did they come in legally? Were they vetted? Were they verified? That's the question. 3 Central American countries, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, together represent 2 million unauthorized immigrants in the U.S., and this is in 2021. How many have came over since 2021? They're stating 2 million already. Why do you think we have all these issues that we're now having with crime in certain places? And I'm not stating that all the crime is coming from illegal immigrants. I will never say that. Americans commit crime just like any other country. But again, my point here is we don't need help creating or committing crimes, do we not? We do not need assistance from other people who are already illegally in the country. We don't need that. We don't need that. Let me move on. Increased illegal immigration brings increased crime. Almost 2/3 of federal arrests involve non-citizens. This is coming from heritage.org. Now, there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can pop that up. We talked about immigrant welfare. I had one thing that I wanted to point out to you guys that most of you already know this information. Most of you already know this information. I know it's pretty small. I'm going to read it to you guys. But I'm right here. It states that since Biden took office, over 6.2 million illegal aliens have been encountered at the nation's border, and over 2 million of them have been released into the nation's interior. A considerable number of them have engaged in criminal activity once they are settled. In 2023 alone, Border Patrol agents have encountered thousands of illegal aliens with prior criminal convictions, including assault, rape, and murder. The true extent of crimes committed by illegal aliens remains unknown because there are also over 1.5 million unaccounted for gotaways since Biden's term began. Those are the people who got away, family. Those are the people. Those are the people. Those are the people who got away. Those are the people who came through the border. The border patrol agent might have seen them, but he already had 100, 200 people he had to tend to. He couldn't chase them. I know that the radio is faster than the feet, but when you don't have sufficient manpower, we don't have a border. How many people can we really station? How many people can we really put at the border to stop all illegal immigrants and to capture all illegal immigrants? That's why 1.5 million of them are gotaways. They got away. They got away, family. Think about that. How large, I'm about to ask a really silly question, but how large is 1.5 million people? Do you know that's a population of some small countries? Or really close, okay, or really close. Now that I'm speaking to conjecture, but I'm pretty sure there's a country or two out there with a population under 3 million. But that's a lot of people that got away. 1.5 million people. And I'm not into the discrimination of, oh, everybody that comes over here are criminals. I will never say that. Yeah, there's people who are coming over here who need assistance, help, and all of the above. But you're coming over here illegally. You're jumping the line. But it's not their fault. Them breaking the law is their fault. But all the resources and tangibles and social this and welfare and programs that they're utilizing squatter laws, they're conducting. I mean, everything, family, is stemming from which seems to be from this one issue called illegal immigration. It's affecting America, but it's mainly going to affect those who are mostly impoverished, and unfortunately, that is foundational Black Americans. It's amazing when you start talking about reparations or what this country owed to us, and then you see the money they fork out for illegal immigrants. You see the schools being rebuilt for illegal immigrants. You see the new shelters that they're building for illegal immigrants. You see that? Oh, you would have all the white supremacists and all the white supremacist affiliated people to come out and say, how you gonna get reparations? Who paying for reparations? Yeah, my tax dollars ain't paying for reparations. Where are you now? Where are you now? Where is the protesting? Where is it at? I see some little skirmishes here and there, but I don't really see the white supremacist society out there. They ain't using my tax dollar to fund all these shelters and this, that, and the other. Because mainly, and it will start to have some spillage. It will start to spill over. Mainly, it's affecting Black neighborhoods. Mainly, not mostly, but mainly. Don't mainly and mostly mean the same thing? I think so. Nonetheless, as we go through the statistics here, it also states that a 2021 Department of Justice report revealed that 64% of federal arrests, despite them compromising only 7% of the population at the time, while the Biden administration fails to provide continuous updates on illegal alien crime data, Texas Department of Public Safety maintains a running database of such incidents. And they're stating here, this is the Heritage Organization, is stating that other states should follow suit. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. I want to show you one more thing, and this is coming from Homeland Security. Yeah. This is coming from Homeland Security, family. This is coming from Homeland Security. I want you to see this. This was a staggering statistics right here. Because now we're getting into national security. See, crime is a more domestic thing, some robberies, some rapes, some murder, some assaults. That's domestic. That's domestic. But when you plot and plan to destroy a infrastructure, something that will affect hundreds of thousands and millions of Americans, you blow up a bank, you fly a plane into the World Trade Center. Terrorist acts. Listen, look at this, family. It states, where is it? Let me go up one. It states right here, in fiscal year 2023, 169 individuals whose names appear on the terrorist watch list were stopped trying to cross the U.S.-Mexican border between ports of entry. 18 were apprehended in September alone. 169 terrorists coming inside the country. That's on the watch list. You're telling me this is not a threat to national security? So is illegal immigration the number one issue of America? If it's hurting the economy, inflation is still way up, family. Goddamn gas is so high. Okay. We pay other countries and big businesses in America big money to keep our gas prices low. Now, depending on where you are, California, I don't know, $5, $6. Upper East Coast, anywhere from $4 to $6. Okay. We either be Texas, Florida. We're looking at $3 plus. You know, those border states, $3 plus, which is high. What's considerably higher. Okay. Of course, we understand that gas is regional. Places that have oil reserves and things of that nature may have lower gas prices, but inflation has affected it. And what really has driven inflation? So the conservatives are blaming illegal immigration by the way of Joe Biden and his policies. And the Democrats are blaming the conservatives when Donald Trump was in office because, his policies that he put in place are now affecting America, and that's what's driving inflation. So they're going back and forth. They're going back and forth. And where's the tennis ball? They're going back and forth. They're like backhand, front hand, serve. They're doing all that to the American people, and you're just going like this. Because you don't know what the hell's going on, family. But I can tell you this. According to homeland.house.gov, they're stating that 169 individuals whose names appear on the terrorist watch list will stop trying to cross the U.S.-Mexican border between ports of entry 18 were apprehended in September alone. Can I ask a question? Can I ask you guys a question? What happened to the 1.5 million that got away? What happened to the 1.5 million of those who got away? Then it states this, because we understand states like Montana, we have a lot of the Sinaloa cartel, Sinaloa, I always mess up the name, sorry, cartel that's operating out of states like Montana and those Midwestern states that people really don't go to. They're taking over Native American land and these are some of the reports. Okay, these are some of the reports. Okay, don't quote me. I'm paraphrasing. But they're dealing fentanyl. Okay, well, Homeland Security states that so far in fiscal year 2023, Customs and Border Patrol has arrested 35,433 aliens with criminal convictions or outstanding warrants nationwide, including roughly 600 known gang members, 178 of those being MS-13. And if you guys have done any research on MS-13, MS-13 members are ruthless. They are ruthless. I don't got nothing bad to say about them. They're ruthless. Okay, they don't play no games. And it also states here, including air and marine operations, have seized roughly 28, I shouldn't round that up. Let's say 27,300 pounds of fentanyl. 27,300 pounds of fentanyl, family, with the including air and marine operations, says coming across the southwest border, enough to kill, oh my Lord. Y'all see that? Enough to kill 6 billion people. How many people on Earth? How many people on Earth? It's like 7 or 8 billion people on Earth right now. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me you can kill, 90% of the Earth population with the amount of fentanyl that's come across the border? And they have these threats right here on Homeland Security. They're stating that roughly 170 of them was on the terrorist watch list. Have 9/11 taught us anything? Has 9/11 taught us anything? I guess we don't have money to secure the borders. I don't know if we have money to hire more Customs and Border Patrol agents. I I don't think we have enough money to buy more robotic dogs. I don't think we have enough money to buy more robotic and sentry dogs to monitor and patrol the border in those gaps that the Customs Border Patrol don't have enough manpower to cover. I don't think we have that. Oh, do we? Do you think we have enough money to go out and buy robot and sentry robotics to monitor the border? I think we do. Has anyone talked about that yet? Has anyone talked about? And again, family, I'm just coming up with ideas because they will tell us, oh, it's not enough people. We don't have enough money. Okay, then anything else, what do? We use technology. We use automation. We use manufacturing. We use some sort of apparatus to fill in the blank, to fill in the weak point, to cover and or monitor something that we're not going to pay somebody to do. Tell me if I'm lying, family. Don't we use technology like that? Don't we use it like that? Encounters at the southwest border increased over 40% since 2021. Since President Biden, this is coming from Homeland Security, okay? Since Biden took office, there have been 7.5 million encounters nationwide, 6.2 million encounters at the southwest border, in addition to 1.7 million known getaways. So we have 1.7 million people who got away, family. And out of the people that we have encountered, that we have quote unquote processed, out of all of those millions of people, we have only recognized 169 of them on the terrorist watch list. Because here's the thing, family, during 9/11, when we were watching the plane fly into the World Trade Center, the first World Trade Center, some of you probably thought that the plane malfunctioned, the navigation system went bonkers. Some of you probably thought that the pilot was drinking. He was a little tipsy. His vision was obscured. And a tragic accident shake the very hearts of Americans. Then you saw a second plane. I think there were 740, 737, 747s flying to the second building. And then you was like, oh shit. What is going on? What just happened? What did I see? Then I think there was a failed attempt in Pennsylvania. I'm paraphrasing, family. It's a long time ago. And then one went inside of the Pentagon. We didn't know what the hell was going on, family. And these were supposedly terrorists from the Middle East that were sleeper cells. The question is, did they get over here lawfully, unlawfully? Did they overstay their visas? Did they have work permits? I mean, again, I know during this time, a lot of information was out, but bringing this back up, this is very significant because we're not just having people that are just coming over here for a better way of life. We have people committing crimes, right? And some of these crimes are serious. Americans are getting hurt. Americans are getting killed. But it's a much bigger issue, as I was telling you before. This is a threat to national security as well, let alone the economy. And anytime the economy does bad, I want you guys just to give me a thought or a guess of who do you think is affected the most? Don't worry. Foundational Black Americans are. When the economy does bad, we do worse. So, family, I'm not speaking out of conjecture when I say these things because this is just the facts. This is just the facts. This is just the facts, family. Because, again, going over 9/11, remember the horror, the devastation, the amount of people who literally lost their lives. It was the one event where race was not a factor. Black Americans wasn't on nobody's mind. And America seemed more united through tragedy. It seems though America was more entwined, more glued with one another. People wearing the American flag. People were proud. People were helping each other out. People felt like America. No, family. That was temporary. You know, during such a tragic event, soon after everybody got off their high, everybody came down their high. We went back to the same old Jim. I mean, I was about to say Jim Crow, but it's basically the same, right? It's just kind of hidden through certain legislations and laws and things that people allowed in everyday work to occur. That's what I'm referring to. And if 9/11 wasn't a wake-up call when it really refers to a terrorist attack on a very large and massive scale, now I want you to put that into contrast of how we are still struggling to secure the border and have a verify or vet those who come in inside the country. Because the rise in illegal immigration, it's not a small issue. It's not just a nuisance. It's a full-blown crisis. We're seeing a surge in crime directly linked to illegal immigration, but they're telling us otherwise. No. Crime is still the same rate. No, it's not. If I go into a neighborhood, and I know it has to do with time, date, area, right? All these other factors but I'm gonna try to make it simple as possible. If I go inside of a neighborhood, and let's say there's a crime committed every day, one crime committed every day, and then I come in and I commit a crime, that's two crimes. Crime have increased. I know, very simple. I try to dumb it down. Hopefully, most of you got it. But the point is, crime is on a rise. You have millions of people inside the country committing crimes. And I don't mean all of them, okay? I don't mean all of them. I got to make sure I say that because people get hurt and get their butt hurt or something. And then going back over the economy, the financial stability piece is that this has been a financial burden, and even the federal government is stating that it is a net negative drain on the economy. Because for one, they are straining the social services that were put in place for Americans to utilize and benefit from to get themselves off their feet. Our social benefits, with the exception of SSI, wasn't really meant for people to be on there for years and decades. No, temporarily. I would like to believe that most people, okay, shouldn't need more than a year on social services. Now, of course, each situation is different. Some may need 2 years, but at the most 3 years. At the most, I'm thinking typical 1 year, the most 3 years. And people should be off social services with the exception of SSI and maybe the elderly with Medicaid, et cetera. But not people who are under the age of 65. Come on. And in good health. Let me put that in there as well. But if you don't think the resources are being drained, now you hear all of the sanctuary cities. Now you hear majority of the sanctuary states saying we need help. Oh, we're being overran. It's a pandemic. We need assistance building new tents and shelters. We need more people to put Black people out of their community centers and out of their churches. And we're asking the American citizens to now house people who are illegally in the country. And that is because we have very lax immigration policies. They're not just hurting our wallets. They're not just hurting our wallets, family. They're not just hurting our wallets. And some of I don't care. Anything is better than Donald Trump. And some of you like, oh, forget that, I vote for Donald Trump. Listen, family, we have to put pressure on those in power. One, we have to know what the hell we want. Two, as a group, here's the thing, family. No group is essentially a monolith, but there are key issues that affect each and every community. But I'm here to tell you right here, right now, that immigration is probably one of the most single issues that affects everybody in some way. It affects everybody in some way. Yeah, it does. It does affect some people. It affects a lot of people. It affects a lot of people. And when it comes to national security, we don't have any idea. We don't have any idea the people that come over the border, what they are, what their intentions are. We would like to believe that most people are coming over here for opportunities, even though they're over here legally, but the American government, sanctuary states, sanctuary cities are allowing the unlawful entry inside the country and making it lawful. And again, I must say that I'm not here to point fingers or demonize any group of people or anyone, but I am here to call for action. We need to secure our borders. We need to implement stricter vetting processes. We need to enforce the laws that are already on the books and to put America first. We need to close the loopholes in the Constitution. And if Donald Trump is not trying to secure the border from a legislation level and a physical level and a technology level, are they really trying to close the border? Can they do that? Yes, they can. We have enough money. We have enough money. If we have enough money to send billions of dollars to Ukraine and give them military equipment and resources, then we have enough money. If we have billions of dollars to send to Israel, then we have enough money. If we have billions of dollars allocated for the foreign budget of your tax dollars and my tax dollars, then we have enough money. And if we have enough money for that, then you know we have enough money for reparations. You know we have enough money of the money that's owed to foundational Black Americans of reparation, cash payments, land grants, and programs that directly and specifically made for foundational Black Americans. There's no more getting over. Democrats, there's no more fear mongering us. Republicans, there's no more what the hell you got to lose. Evidently, we have a whole hell of a lot to lose because that's the only thing that foundational Black Americans know is losing. It's time to win. It's time to be evidently aware of the situations that we are in and how powerful our vote is. Oh, yeah, I am pro voter ID laws. Oh, yeah. Don't have the Democrats lie to you and state that voter ID laws are discriminatory. Don't have them lie to you to say voter ID laws are discriminatory. That is mostly going to affect Black Americans. No, the hell is not, family. It's not going to affect Black Americans. You need an ID for almost every goddamn thing. You go inside of a nightclub, you need an ID. Some places card everybody. You go in some bars, they ID everybody. You driving a vehicle, you need a driver's license. You're going to conduct business on a local or state level or federal level, you need an ID card. To get on a plane, you need an ID card, a valid ID card. So Black Americans have valid picture IDs. So don't let them throw that on you as well. That's what they would like to do. Well, voter ID laws are very discriminatory against Black Americans because they're one of the poorest minorities, people of color in the country. So this is going to directly affect them. So that's discriminatory. The voter ID laws, they're discriminatory against Black people. They won't be out voting because of these laws. We just don't know. That's a damn lie. A lot of us ain't gonna vote because ain't nothing on the table for Black Americans. I hope it's a game on that day. Where my remote at? Here we go. Be just like this, family. I'm watching TV. I'm watching TV, and I know a lot of people don't like that. Oh well. It's like someone invites you to dinner, but they don't got no plate of food for you. You just sitting at the table like this. I ain't do some shit right here. Goddamn. Everybody eating at the table. Everybody got steak, shrimp, lobster, escargot, caviar, you name it. Everybody got everything. Wine, champagne, douce. Douce. Oh man. And everybody sitting at the table having a good old time. And you sitting at the table, you just like, damn, that steak look good. Damn. I'm sure it's hungry as a motherfucker. Yeah, shit. Oh man, that's really good. That food look good. Why are we going to vote? Now, this is for me, but I'm gonna say it, you know. Why are we going to vote? Ain't nothing on the table for us. You just wasting your time. And I know a lot of you people like, well, you know, I just can't go without voting, man. I just can't do it, man. I'm not trying to convince people not to vote, family. I'm not trying to convince you not to vote. I just like, you know, what are you voting for? Some people just fear mongering it too well. I don't want Donald Trump to be president again. So I'm voting for Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden let all these millions of people inside the country that hurt the economy. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. That's what I got for you, family. That's it, family. That's what I got. That's what I got for you. Because let me tell you guys one thing. Let me tell you what Joe Biden has done. Can I show you guys what Joe Biden has done? When they asked Joe Biden about reparations, this is what good old Joe said. This is what he said.
Vice President Biden, do you support reparations?
Let me, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 2,400 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America, and we should invest in them. Everybody will benefit from it. Every single American. And you should get used to it. This is a nation of immigrants. That's who we are. That's why we're who we are. That's what makes us different.
Who sounds like the dictator? Now, I'm not stating Donald Trump isn't a dictator. I don't know. But who just sounded like a dictator? You should get used to it. He's telling you. Well, wait a minute. Isn't this a democracy? No, it's a republic. You elected this man in. Now he can do anything he wants. He don't care about the American people. I'm in power. I can do whatever I want. I don't care. Salute to everybody in the chat. I see we got Grease, Brent C, David M. Crowder. We got Miles Apart. We got our number one coon, Solid Snake. Thanks for that donation. I appreciate that $5, brother. Miles Apart says, man, you see places like Mississippi, Tennessee, how poor and rag the infrastructure is. Sad. We give millions and billions to migrants. Absolutely. We have American cities, family, that actually need these billions of dollars to build up its infrastructure. There are still places in America, Flint, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi, whose water is still toxic. Solid Snake says, we have been allowing more than 1,000 immigrants from all over the world every day for 3 years learn Spanish. Oh, wow. I know one thing. We had a group better get away from this gender war thing, man against woman, woman against man, and come together because we need each other right now. Shout out goes to my mod. I do appreciate that. Be one to you as well, family. Solid Snake, it is more than that. If only FBA and the rest of us focus on this immigration issue, as we're so much as entertaining BS. That's a good point. Not a great point, but it's a good point. Again, we should no longer allow these jackbooted thugs to hijack another movement. Okay. Look at Jermaine Anderson shouting out brother Solid Snake. Finally, he's coming around. Y'all remember that one time I had Solid Snake on, he had his shirt off. He was drunk as a skunk, boy. Solid Snake, you can't do that again, brother. You're going to put you part of the Bussy Brigade. Okay? Shout out go to my Mar. Thank everybody for joining me here this evening. Get some of this good merch that I have for you guys. Okay? Last comment here. We need ID, not them. They could be using dead relatives in another region. We print money according to population density now. And lastly, don't forget that America is a monetary sovereign. So it don't matter how much money we print, $34 trillion in debt, nobody cares. But I'll tell you one thing.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land grant colleges. Government money. Teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farm. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. This is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
B1.